You played for one of the most interesting characters in the sport of football, and that is Jim Harbaugh. So I want to ask you, I know I'm putting you on the spot right now, but can you share a Jim Harbaugh story or two for me about what it was like to play for him?
Yeah. So he is unique is the ultimate word. And he does things his way. I can see why he's like the ultimate definition of you're happy to have him on your team, because I can see why Ohio State fans or Michigan State fans or whoever's like, man, that guy is freaking weird. But you talk to and you even saw J.K. Dobbins
Oh yeah.
in LA, beloved by his players, but he is the ultimate competitor. He is going to push the envelope, and I think what he does better than anyone is create an environment that raises the floor. And one thing that stands out, JP, is our first ever spring. Jim wanted to create that environment of competition. So he ranked every player on the team from number 1 to a number 130. He didn't say, hey, you're outside of the top 100. You knew if you were the worst player on the team or the best player on the team. And that's going to make some people uncomfortable, right? And every week he'd say, hey, here's our risers or here's our fallers. And we had plenty of opportunity, but that's kind of unheard of. I've shared that with some media people, and they were like, are you serious? Did he actually do that? Yes, that was an ongoing thing. But I think that if you're getting into college football, I loved it. I wanted the opportunity to have my name in the top 5. I wanted to see my name climbing up the charts. I wanted to know my head coach was paying enough attention to rightfully be able to talk about my game. And I've never heard of another head coach, and there's some great competitors, ever doing something like that. I don't know. Did Urban ever do anything like that?
So before I answer that, where did you rank when he put up the rankings?
I was number 1 for a period,
Top
but it
dog.
was top 3 between me, Jabril, and Jordan Lewis. It kind of
Oh, dude,
rotated.
those were some great players,
Good
by the way.
names. Yeah.
Top dog does not surprise me. So Urban didn't do that, but I've mentioned to you that I think Urban and Jim are more similar than they are dissimilar.
Yeah.
So after we won the title in 14, that spring, none of us went to class. We were out there going crazy, like class didn't exist. So he calls a team meeting and he gets on the projector and he goes position group by position group and he displays every player from top to bottom and what their GPA was for that spring and then what their overall GPA was for their academic career. And he went one by one and ripped everybody. So this idea of extreme transparency is, I think, common among the great coaches. This idea of using transparency as a way to create a competitive environment. No competitor likes being embarrassed, regardless of what it is. And I think that was part of it too. Like, as a coach, do you set out to embarrass your players? Well, no, not really. But like, can that be a motivator? Do you want to be a guy who's ranked in the 70s? No, like you hate being that guy. Like, you want to be a top 10 dude. You want to be dependable. You want to be great. You want to be counted on. And so I feel like when you're trying to compete in those upper margins, like our coaches, where you will exhaust every avenue to try to motivate guys.
Yeah. And the thing is it wasn't, I never felt like it was disrespectful. It was just matter of fact. And really there was always an underlying message of prove me wrong. There's an opportunity for you to grow. And we have the staff in place that's going to watch every rep. So you will get noticed. And I thought that was beautiful. And I'll give you just a few more weird ones. Like, there's like a really nice steakhouse in town called the Chop House. It's like the steakhouse in Ann Arbor. And I think Jim's like first weekend he went there, he took his wife and got like a nice steak. And then there was a famous story of normally you're drinking wine or whatever, but Jim doesn't drink. He ordered a glass of whole milk. And they're like, no one's ever ordered that. We don't have whole milk. So they sent one of the waiters to the Walgreens down the street and got him a gallon of whole milk. It's just, again, that's just a little tidbit of like his quirkiness. He calls the chicken the nervous bird. Told our nutritionist not to serve us.
Didn't he start raising chickens though?
Yes.
And then he like he started respecting them. He's like, they're
He's come full
hardworking animals.
circle. Yeah,
Yeah.
because back when we were playing, he told our nutritionist to stop serving us chicken because it's the nervous bird, and he thought it was going to make us like anxious on the field. He thought we should only eat like bacon and steak, but now he raises chicken and he's come full circle. So, and it's one of those things where like you laugh, but he's being dead serious when he says it. It's like a half joke, but half completely serious. So he's kind of hard to read in that sense.
No, it's funny because if you've ever had the opportunity to talk to him, he'll say something like that in conversation and you'll want to chuckle, but he's serious. Like that's not a joke to him. And I think it's I don't know if charming's the right word. Quirky certainly would fit the bill there, but it's one of the things that makes him unique, and obviously great career in the NFL, great career as a college coach, but it's fun to hear stories about how some of these guys tick.